Before humans built satellites, radar systems, and weather apps, nature already had its own meteorologists. Small, green, and often overlooked, the frog. For centuries, people across the world have noticed one strange pattern. When frogs begin to sing loudly, rain often follows. Farmers, villagers, and travelers all learned the same thing. If the frogs are calling, the sky is preparing to answer. What if this is more than folklore? What if frogs truly possess a built-in ability to sense the weather long before humans can? Let's uncover the science behind one of nature's oldest and most mysterious forecasters. When the first drops of rain fall, we often look up to the sky. But frogs, they've already felt it coming. Deep in the ponds, under the soil, and in the humid air, something invisible shifts. Temperature, pressure, vibration, scent. The world whispers and the frog listens. Their skin isn't just skin, it's a living sensor. Frogs breathe partly through it, absorb moisture through it, and detect changes in their surroundings with it. Even the slightest drop in air pressure, something we can't notice, can trigger chemical and neural reactions inside them. To a frog, that drop means one thing: rain is on the way. When humidity rises, their skin becomes more active, softer, and easier to stay hydrated. That's their signal to come out, to sing, to call for mates. Because for frogs, rain is life. Rain means puddles. Puddles mean love. Yes, frogs don't just predict rain, they celebrate it. But it goes deeper than romance. Science now confirms that frogs are incredibly sensitive to environmental changes. Some species react hours before a storm arrives, even when the sky still looks clear. They can detect low-frequency sound waves and vibrations produced by thunderclouds far away. Waves that humans can't hear, but nature has designed them to feel. In 2011, Japanese researchers studying earthquakes made an unexpected discovery. Several frog colonies became unusually active days before a major quake, leaving ponds and moving to higher ground. It seemed impossible, but when measured carefully, the timing matched the shifts in atmospheric pressure, humidity, and even tiny electromagnetic changes before the event. The frogs weren't running from fear. They were responding to signals our instruments could barely detect. This ability is part biological, part instinctual, a survival advantage honed through millions of years. Long before radar and forecasts, frogs learned to read the pulse of the planet itself. In tropical rainforests, this gift becomes a symphony. As dusk falls and humidity thickens, the air fills with croaks, chirps, and trills, each one timed for perfection, like an orchestra tuning for the rain. Every sound, every call is both communication and celebration. They're telling each other, the rain is near, it's time to begin. And indeed, the rain always comes. Biologists have identified dozens of species whose vocal patterns align directly with weather changes. Tree frogs in Central America start calling hours before rain clouds form. Burrowing frogs in Africa emerge from the earth just before the monsoon. And even in dry regions, frogs somehow know when humidity will rise again. The secret lies not in magic, but in adaptation. Frogs are creatures of water and air. They can't survive without moisture, yet they live on land. So evolution gave them the most sensitive weather instruments on Earth: their skin, their hearing, and their rhythm with the environment. They are, quite literally, barometers with a heartbeat. To understand how it works, we need to look closer. When humidity increases, tiny changes occur in air density. Sound travels differently. Pressure pushes against the frog's thin skin membrane, sending microscopic signals through nerves connected to their inner organs. These signals affect hormones that trigger behavior, telling them when to move, when to hide, and when to sing. It's a full-body weather station, perfectly tuned for survival. But even more fascinating is how their instincts synchronize across entire populations. When one frog starts to call, others join in almost instantly, creating what biologists call chorus synchronization. It's like a natural alarm system spreading through the forest. The message: conditions are right, the storm is coming, the world is changing. It's as if they can sense the Earth's heartbeat before we can hear the thunder. For humans, rain is an inconvenience. Traffic, wet shoes, canceled plans. For frogs, it's everything. Rain gives life, restores breeding ponds, awakens the insects they feed on. That's why their bodies evolved to respond so precisely to it. To them, predicting rain isn't intelligence, it's instinct. It's survival written in their DNA. And perhaps in that simple act of calling before a storm, the frog reminds us of something we've forgotten: how deeply connected every creature once was to nature's rhythm. Now imagine this. Centuries ago, in small farming villages, people would stop their work when they heard frogs sing loudly. They knew it meant rain, and they trusted it, more than any priest, any scholar, any device. The frog's voice was the forecast. Nature was their meteorologist. Today, we scroll through apps for the same answer, but the frogs are still out there, calling, sensing, predicting. Their wisdom hasn't changed, only ours has drifted away. In modern science, we can measure humidity, track air currents, and detect pressure shifts. But can we feel them? Can we sense the Earth's breath the way a frog does? Probably not, because we've learned to watch the sky, but forgotten to listen to it. And maybe that's the quiet message behind every frog's call, that there's more to the weather than numbers on a screen. There's life, rhythm, and an ancient intelligence hidden in the sound of the rain. So the next time you hear a frog croak before a storm, pause for a moment. You're not just hearing an animal. You're hearing one of the oldest weather forecasters on Earth, singing the same song it's sung for millions of years, in perfect harmony with the planet. And that's what makes the frog not just a creature of the rain, but a storyteller of the skies. A living reminder that the world still speaks if we only take the time to listen. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to WiseUse for more stories of the natural world that reveal the hidden genius of life itself.